Welcome to Actual Scale Modelling. This is part 9 of Trumpeter's German 2cm self-propelling gun. The scale is 1 to 35. In this part, I'm going to be starting where I left off with the lights and antenna, and then working my way to the main gun. So let's jump into this and see how well I get on. So starting where I left off in part 8, I'm placing on the lights and antennas that I made up in part 8. Each one gets placed onto the wheeled arch on the front here. Each also has its own little location point. I suspect I'll probably snap these off at some point during the build though. I know I should wait till the end to place these on, but half the time when I do that I forget to put them on, and it's only later on I think, oh damn, I should have put them on. So I'm placing them on now, but as I said, I expect them to be snapped off at some point. Onto the windscreen now and the frame. First of all, there's a couple of small brackets need to be placed on. These are just to hold it in place. They are absolutely tiny, and there's no way my camera's going to pick up, and I was barely able to pick them up with my tweezers. As you can see, they're very small. Even with my magnifying lenses on, I still found it quite difficult to get these tiny little parts sorted out, but they are crucial to the frame, so it's worth doing. I'm using microcrystal clear to attach the windows. Now you can use normal cement to do this, but you'll have to leave it for 1 or 2 minutes until the fumes disappear if you don't want the clear plastic to fog. With the crystal clear and other white glues, of course, you don't get this. You can add it straight away. However, the downside is it takes a lot longer for the glue to set. There's 3 panels in total that have to go on here. They fit in quite well, so there's not any major issues. So before they go on, though, I have to paint the underside of it, depending on the position of your windscreen, and I have mine in the down position. So I'm using Revel Aquacolor 79 Greyish Blue, and that's going to be the predominant colour of the entire kit. For the wing mirror, I'm using Revel Aquacolor 99 Aluminium, and I'm using this on the back part of the wing mirror. So the front part is a clear part, just straight on it, a stem of plastic. So painting the back part will make the mirror well, look shiny really. On this, don't be tempted to paint the front part, or the part would be facing the driver, because you'll lose a lot of detail that way. And then it's back to the windscreen, and first of all I'm placing into the brackets which hold the windscreen wipers, and I use Revel Aquacolor 08 Matte Black to paint the windscreen wipers. Now depending on how you're displaying this is the windscreen, that is, I'll dictate when you're going to put these wipers on, but I would say put them on as soon as possible so they're not lying around. It doesn't really matter what angle you place them in, but just remember there is a reverse side, so make sure you get them on the proper side. For the cap of the bonnet, it's 99 aluminium. Now this may seem a little bit bright at the moment, but once it's all weathered, that'll tone that colour right down. But I wanted it to be a different shade from the grey. So once that's all done, then it's a case of putting on the windscreen, and it just fits on the bracket so that I put on over the top where the dashboard is. Going to the main gun now, and I'm using 08 Matte Black Revel Aquacolor, and this is for the butt of the gun. Well, this is the only part that has the black colour on it. The barrel is painted in Revel Aquacolor 77 Dust Grey. And as you can see, I'm painting this on the spray. That's just for ease of handling. So it's time to assemble the gun, and this is quite a complex process. There's 4 barrels which go onto the mount first of all. They have to go in a specific way. The instructions are not 100% clear on this, and it took a lot of studying of the instructions to make sure I got it in the right place. How I did it was I just lined up where the black started on the guns, to the framework of the mount. I done a lot of dry fitting for this just to make sure that everything does fit in its proper place. As I said, it took quite a while to do this part. Then I had to fit a couple of magazines in it. They're painted in 06 tab black by Rebel Aquacolor. Now there's quite a few magazines to place on, but the initial two go on the actual guns themselves. And like with the barrel, dry fitting is essential. The unit I'm putting on now, that is a locking mechanism that's going to hold everything in place, so it's crucial that I get everything in the proper place. So I had those two bars on, then I was able then to put on the remaining two magazines. So then it's on to the extended framework of the gun, and this is the mechanism for it to move up and down and pivot and so forth. Again, this is a very complicated part of the build and will need a lot of time and thought process to complete. So first of all is the main halves of the housing that are going together. Some part, this can be all cemented in solidly, so nothing moves. It's only later on that you'll have to start thinking about if you want the guns to move up and down. But this part is just a sense of making up a box, but with complicated shapes. There's like an S bend that goes around this, and I'm just fitting it now. Now the instructions say make up the two side halves first, then put this sort of S shape in. But I done it the other way around. I fed the S shape onto the side walls as such, then started building up from there. This has just made alignment a lot easier. And then that allowed me just to start putting on all the little different bits and pieces. There's a lot to go on here. Lots of brackets and things that will hold everything into place. So as I said, check your alignment with each stage, dry fit, and then cement, and then move on. It's crucial that everything goes how it's meant to, because as you go along on the build, you'll start to find nothing well, things will start not lining up, and you'll end up with a lot of issues that you're going to have to sort out. So it is very crucial that you get it right the first time around. Take this bracket, for instance, and build in here. Initially, it looks like a simple bracket that just gets built on top of the foot plate before fitting into the main unit. If it's not 100% square, one, it will not fit into the unit, and two, if you force it in, it will go in the wrong angle, and there's other parts that are added to it that will enable the gun to move up and down, but that will not be possible if it's slightly wrong. In actual fact, that's what I did. I didn't have it in the seating 100%, and I had to snip off a little bit of the plastic just to get it fitted in. Now it turns out that was a mistake. I did actually have it fitted in, but later on down the build of this gun, there's like a piston that helps move everything up, and it goes inside just where I'm putting my cement now. But it appeared that it was too long to fit inside, but actually connects to another part of the gun. So that was a mistake on my half. Luckily, it was easy enough to fix out down the line. So the part that I snipped off, I replaced it with a bit of stretch sprue. So I just heated it up and stretched it to the length that I needed before placing it in. It's a little fix that I shouldn't have had to do. I just didn't quite read the instructions carefully. But looking back at these instructions now, they are not really 100% clear. So like anything, it is wise to have a look at these, but look ahead as well, which I did. I mean, the instructions are quite difficult to follow on this particular part of the build. And once that section was made up, I was able then to place it onto the foot plate. And this is where I'll leave part 9. So if you haven't done so already, why don't you check out the channel for my other builds? If you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, that way you'll be kept up to date. Hit that like button, don't be afraid to leave a comment, and of course you can share the video. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.